Formula 1 arrives at Mexico for the penultimate round of the 2021 season. And there was two big things of thought. First of all, there was already the contract rumours of who was going to be driving in 2021. And there was also the fact of the undecided Drivers' Championship. 3 drivers can still win it, although Russell, who lies in third place behind both Hamilton and Verstappen, needs a better than third place, i.e. second or first, to keep his championship hopes alive. Even then, that might not be enough if Verstappen goes on to win. Ideally, he'd want victory today. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly says he needs to work on his qualifying performances in the Williams, admits that the car hasn't been performing well for him, and says that the qualifying pace in the car has been absolutely woeful for him throughout 2021. He says he hopes to improve in 2022. Whether he is in the Williams car or not is yet to be seen. Back to Red Bull then, and Max Verstappen is hoping to round off victory should the Mercedes, of course, throw it away. Remember, he doesn't need to win and he can take it as slow as he wants. Rumours are already in the team that the other seat, Nico Hülkenberg, that Hülkenberg would have already been fired had Verstappen not been in a position to win the Drivers' World Championship. And speaking of pole, Hamilton is once again on pole, claiming the majority of them throughout the season. Max Verstappen lines up alongside. George Russell not where he needs to be to keep his championship alive. He starts P3. Nico Hülkenberg exactly where he needs to be to support Verstappen. He starts 4th. Fernando Alonso starts 5th for Alpine, alongside Lance Stroll, one of his best qualifying of the season for the Canadian driver. Charles Leclerc starts 7th for Ferrari, alongside Sebastian Vettel, who's been out-qualified by his teammate for only on one of a handful of occasions this season. Daniel Ricciardo starts 9th, and Carlos Sainz gets his Ferrari in the top 10, again for only a handful of races this season. Lando Norris tried to get into Q2 on the medium tyres and failed. He's on row 6 alongside Pete Hampson, starts 12th for Williams. Esteban Ocon, another disappointing qualifying, he starts 13th. Pierre Gasly, better from him, closer to his teammate, he starts in 14th place. The 2 AlphaTauri start 15th and 16th, although Kvyat was knocked out in Q1. AlphaTauri not expected much considering the Cosworth pace. Alfa Romeo occupy row 9 with Mick Schumacher ahead of Callum Ilott by a 10th. And on the last row of the grid for today's Mexican Grand Prix are the 2 Fords, with home favourite Sergio Perez ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 Project Phoenix, a 2021 career mode. Today we're doing episode number 15 for the Mexican Grand Prix of this opening season of this series. Only this 2 rounds to go. I can't quite believe how time has flown on this series. 2 rounds we got left in the season, then of course that'll be it for this series on this game, and then we'll back on F1 2021 for more. But yes, to Mexico then, a track that's proved quite well for me. It's a recent favourite of mine, I must admit. Previous games I have struggled, but on this game it's definitely a different, I don't know what it is because I don't think they've actually changed anything, but for me it's a better track. I know it's so for some of you as well. It's also a better track for you than compared to on previous games. But yes, outside the top 10, which means that we're going to try the 2-stop. I'm having flashbacks with that strategy though to Canada where we struggled, so we'll see if we can make it again. We are going to try once again though the harder compound in the middle, the softer compound at the end. I think we'll see how the tyre wear goes though. if it's a harsher tyre wear race, then we might have to do an extra stop, which could affect us against the likes of the top order, and those of course who are just able to stretch their tyres, because of course they don't have that fear of getting a puncture, because they're just an AI, they don't get punches. But anyway, to 500 lights, and after a long hold, away we go. And it's, well, initially an okay start. It's getting a little bit better now. We're trying to go ahead of Lando Norris. Ricciardo's had a poor start. He's been squeezed out by Sainz. Now we're building the speed ahead of Sainz now and up into the top 10. Although we've got to let Sainz and Ricciardo go there because of a slowing Aston Martin car. I think that was Vettel. That allows Norris to come have a look back at us, but we're going to close Norris off and move up into P11. Now we're all over the back of, I think this is Stroll actually, not Vettel. I think Vettel's had a better start than Stroll. Stroll's actually fallen down. No, it is Vettel actually, excuse me, I can just see from the helmet there. Tyre wear though is already high, 3%. We're not, these are fresh mediums. We've only done one bit of a lap, as Vettel now is all over the back of us on his soft tyres. Going into the stadium section though, we shove them out. We've learnt our lesson from our driver career mode episode. I'm sure that Vettel will be having, Vettel's AI will be having nightmares about that race as we're diving down the inside now. Carlos Sainz on lap 2, he tries to squeeze us to the inside there. Can we get it on the outside? We go a little bit off circuit there. Managed to keep a wheel on the track, and we're just going to go around the outside. The inside driver has to take the curbing to keep it with us. And that means that we move up into P8. Around the outside, I didn't think Sainz would give us the room, but he did, which is fair play to him. And now Vettel, of course, will be setting after the man that he replaced at Ferrari, using the power of the Mercedes engine against the Ferrari, and he is now ahead of the Ferrari driver as we look at Lance Stroll, potentially catching him as we jump to the front of the queue. Max Verstappen is in second place, but Lewis Hamilton leads the race. He's where he needs to be. Behind him is Alonso ahead of Russell. Hulkenberg has dropped like a stone from his 4th place, so that's peculiar. Both Russell and Hulkenberg on the soft tyres, so doing an extra stop. We found that starting the mediums for the top guys means they're about half a minute ahead, as Sainz now is losing out to Lando Norris on his soft tyres. And that brings us to lap 6, where we're now in this. We've got DRS and Stroll. Norris has got some good pace. Ricciardo as well is up ahead. We're going to try and go deep on Stroll. Can we turn this into a move into turn 2 and turn 3? Yes, we can. Stroll yields in favour of us, and we're up into P8 then. Didn't really, again, a little bit of overspeed with the DRS there. Not really trying to make it an overtake, but I mean, we've got to take it where we are. After all, I mean, we got the Cosworth engine behind him. As now Stroll and Vettel, the two Aston Martin drivers, are going side by side. We'll see if this actually happens in real life, whether or not Stroll and Vettel are able to fight side by side. But Vettel has the better line going through the S sections and moves up into P9. As while all of that was going on as well, the Mercedes, the first round of pit stops are going on for the soft tyre runners, and Russell is using the delays of some of the drivers, although some of them have come in, to get in front of Alonso. So he's back up into P3. Russell after a poor start. As we're into the pits at the end of lap number 10, tyre wear you saw there was getting very harsh. And you can see here 72% on the rear left, 70% on the front left. So tyre wear is definitely harsh. Hamilton came in. Hamilton is also doing our strategy. Did a earlier. Excuse me. He came in a lap earlier. As I'm having flashbacks to Canada, so I decided to switch up and go for the medium tyres. Now most of the soft tyre runners came in for a second set of soft tyres. So we come out in P13, sort of out of sync really where the people are, but I think also we've lost a bit of time with the tyres not really being able to perform and not being able to push. One man though who is making those tyres work extra long is Danny Kvyat. He's yet to stop. He's holding up one of the Aston Martin cars, I think it's Vettel, and he will eventually come into the pit. So we now dive down the inside of Carlos Sainz and move up into P8 on the lap 13. Simple dive. This time he doesn't put up a fight going into the this corner, and we don't have to shove him onto the curb now, as we're already only after 3 laps the tyre wear is up to almost 20%, so it's very severe here. We might have to do a 3-stop, or we might have to crawl at the end. I really don't know how long these mediums are going to last, or even the hards. The hards might just blow up, I don't know. As we ride on board with Yuki Tsunoda, both Sainz and Ricciardo retired at the same time on 2 different points of the circuit with an engine failure, as we're now being caught by Lando Norris. He's doing slightly something different. He did soft mediums, so it's kind of like Hamilton has pitted for a final time onto a set of hard tyres. Will they be able to go 16 laps on those hard? That's quite a long way to go. I mean, that's medium tyres have only just managed to do 10, and we're struggling. And we've actually tried to go the extra lap to lap 21 when the pit window opened. Jeff said that this is where the tyres are going. The 2-stop, I don't know if we can survive here. 75% on the front left. That's, I mean, any more and we would be risking a puncture.
Exit now.
Fresh hards are on. I don't know how long the hards are going to, because we haven't done this tyre so far. I don't actually have multiple sets of hards as well. That's the only other thing. I only get given 1 set for the race. So yes, a little bit frustrating there, but nevertheless we come out in P11. Again, I think that's Kvyat, who's going longer because he did longer in the first stint, so he's doing well. And we've moved to lap 29. And the tyre, we're having to go, we're already crawling, I can tell you. Lifting off, going lean revs. As you can see, Alonso now is having a big go at us. He's trying to go down the inside there into turn 1. And you can see that Alonso is all over the back of us on his fresher hards into the stadium section. Well, there's side by side with Alonso, and I think Alonso is still having a look at us, and now we've got Vettel, who's managed to get ahead of Alonso now, and now we've got Alonso comes back at us. So you can see there's a big train forming there between ourselves and Alonso. We shove Alonso out and we jump to lap 34. Tyre wear is up to 65% already. Now you notice we've gone so slowly that the rear part of this train that we've caused is caused by blue flags, but unfortunately I was hoping that we could get lapped and not do the extra lap. But Hamilton and Verstappen betrayed us. They came in the pits on the last lap for a set of soft tyres. So now we've got to do the full distance. We've shoved out Vettel. Alonso's come into the pits. He, I think, ended up, when we shoved him out, I think he got front wing damage. He's out of it now. So it's Norris or Vettel who wants this P4. As I say, we've fallen. Russell was 5 seconds up the road when we came out of the pits, and now he's about a minute at least. As jumped to the last lap, we're going side by side with Lando Norris, who's done the alternative 3-stop today, but he's got the DRS and he's gone past. Can we dive down into turn 1, get this back? No, we can't. We have to defend from Vettel actually, and that is 4th place lost. But we can still get 5th place in this race and hold on. 75% on the rear left going into the stadium section. We defend the inside from Vettel. Norris is going to get P4. That's going to allow McLaren to claim annoyingly points back at us through, but Vettel isn't close enough, and we're going to come home with a P5. We made it. There's huge sigh of relief that we did not get a puncture there and we survived. Not quite as bad as Canada, but still quite bad, and we only managed to get P5, and the pace at the end we had to crawl, otherwise it would have been another Canada situation there. Norris did very well to get P4 and capitalise on our very hard defending. Hamilton winning against Verstappen, Russell 3rd, Ocon gaining points as well ahead of behind Vettel, and Leclerc also getting the final point there. So that's going to help him in that bottom fight for the bottom of the top 12. Gasly unlucky not to get points. Albon closed onto our little train as well, and Kvyat as well, and then the bottom half load were lapped. Alonso, of course, got lapped as well when he did his 4-stop strategy. Sure, he wouldn't have liked that 4-stop. Hulkenberg also dropped away in the end. He just literally got into the train and then just fell back. He didn't have any front wing damage. He just was useless, basically, with his pace. And Sainz and Ricciardo, I'm sure, will be disappointing, not what they need at the tight end of the season. And Verstappen's lead now is down to 6 points, by the way. So it's all to play for Brazil. This could be tight between Hamilton and Verstappen, especially if Russell gets in between Hamilton and Verstappen. Then Hamilton can get the race victory, but we'll have to wait and see. Alonso and myself now have the same level of points. Vettel is 1 point back in 6th place, so that's all to play for as well. And the constructors, although Mercedes are now constructors champions, 4th place, it's back where it was a few rounds ago, between 3 points separating ourselves, Alpine and McLaren for 4th place. Aston Martin, pretty sure they've got 3rd place, unless somebody, Alpine or ourselves, get a 1-2, which is unlikely to happen. So yes, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more episodes of the F1 Project Phoenix mod and other F1 racing game related videos as and when they come out, excuse me. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.